Hello, dear mentors. Welcome to meeting 8, Make Black Win. And in another video, we already solved all these puzzles from 1 to 7. And in particular, we learned that some were impossible, namely number 3, also number 5, and finally number 7. And look at, they're very different, right? This has 3 black squares. This has 4, but it has some separation between them, like heavy one. And this has 4. And it has a moderate separation, but it has this chess pattern. So let's try to learn about these conclusions. If 3 or less votes are black, then what happens? If exactly 4 votes are black, then what happens? This, of course, is the most frequent case. It's one of the most interesting when you have 4 votes. And then if you have 5 or 6 or more, what happens in terms of winning or losing? Can you always win, or sometimes, or never? What happens there? Okay, let's take a look at this conclusion and try to make sense of it and explain. So this is a summary table that you can also see in the teaching guide that tells you, okay, if I have this many votes, what happens? So notice it's symmetric, and of course, each time you have more votes, you get into better situation. So this scale goes from black will always lose, no matter which districts we draw. It's like, don't even try, and don't even see the configuration. So if you have 0, 1, 2, or 3 votes, I don't even need to see the board and where these black votes are to conclude that I will always lose. Remember, this is because to make 2 districts that win, you have 2 votes. You have to have 2 votes in each of these districts. So even if I switch this and put it here, right? And then I put it here, I'm still gonna lose. Or even if, I don't know, all my votes here, that I would say, okay, I have a strong base and to do things. Doesn't matter because I cannot create 2 winning districts. I just have too little. Okay, so that's the deal with this. And then by symmetry, if you have 6, 7, 8, or 9 votes, that flips to white having 0, 1, 2, or 3 votes. So by the same logic, white will always lose, meaning black will always win. So if I have 6 votes of black or more, I don't even need to look where these votes are. So I don't even look at geometry, at the spatial features. I can conclude right away that I'm gonna win if I'm black. So these cases are not interesting from the geometry point of view because you don't need geometric information. So that's quite nice. So the most important cases are when you have 4 or 5 votes of one of the colors, right? So if you have 4 votes, by looking at these examples, we could see that sometimes we could win, like here. Here we always won, but sometimes in some particular, like bad configuration, like unfortunate configurations, whether because they're too far apart or whether because you cannot have all white, then you're gonna lose. So that's what happens if you have exactly 4 votes. You can sometimes win in some configurations. So I need to look at the board. I cannot say I can win. I cannot say I will never always lose. I have to look at the configuration. And if it's a nice configuration, black will win in at least one partition, maybe more, but I have to draw it. But in other configurations, it will always lose. So that's the summary of can sometimes win. I have to get lucky also and have a nice configuration. Now, this is probably the most interesting case that you can reason as a mentor and also in the meeting. What happens if I have 5 black votes? So it's not that I will always win, right? Because it's kind of doing with the white. Here white had 5 votes, but it was not guaranteed to win. But it has a strong case, like it can win maybe more times when you draw many different district partitions. So if black has 5 votes, it will win for at least one partition. Think about why. This is a nice problem to think about why. But in some configurations, if it gets lucky, it will always win. We didn't have puzzles like this here, but it would be kind of taking the dual, for example, to this or to this. Namely, let's switch these black votes here to white. Let's make them white. And let's switch the corners right now. Make them black. Okay. And also I think I need this black, right? Yeah. So in this configuration, I have 5 black votes. And then I'm gonna be able to win. The intuition tells me, okay, I have enough votes, so I have a good chance to win. And then since I'm very well distributed, right? I don't get clusters or anything. I'm everywhere in the map. You cannot hide from me. Then every single district will have to catch me, right? And so I will win 2 districts. Just, yeah. Just because you cannot game me, you cannot put 3 of me in the same district to neutralize me, right? Because I'm everywhere and I'm kind of mixed with white. So that would be the case. And again, yeah, try to reason with your commenter, or also during coaching, you could think about this case of 5. Why is it true that no matter the partition, without looking, the configuration, I don't need to see the configuration. I can guarantee you that I will win in at least one partition. I can draw it. Okay, so that's all for now, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.